Great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source. With Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on Friday, December 31st, 2021. I don't know if you saw this, but the Naples Zoo at Caribbean Gardens, Naples, Florida, down in Collier County, a Bengal tiger was shot and killed by a deputy, Collier County Sheriff's deputy. The 8-year-old Malayan tiger, there's fewer than 200 Malayan tigers in the wild. Echo, the Malayan tiger, came to the zoo about 2 years ago as part of a program to ensure the tiger's future. Well, his future's cut short now because he's dead. He was shot and killed by a Collier County Sheriff's deputy because a third-party cleaning crew. Now, when I mean third-party, that means they were hired by the zoo to come in and work at the zoo. They were there to clean bathrooms and food restaurant areas.
Yeah.
One of their workers decided he wants to climb an enclosure, get over near the cage of the tiger, puts his arm in there. The tiger chomps down on his arm, got his arm between the elbow and the hand, and chewing away. Sheriff comes up, says, anybody got a tranquilizer? Nobody had a tranquilizer. They couldn't get one in time to get there. So he pulls out his service revolver, shoots the tiger once, tiger runs off and dies. The cleaning crew guy taken to the hospital, arm tried to put back together two different surgeries. I'm thinking the cleaning guy needs to go to jail because a victim was killed. The tiger.
I think
the tiger's not the tiger's not the problem here. The tiger was the victim. Am I wrong?
Did they shoot the correct animal?
That's a very valid point. I mean, all this tiger was doing was in his enclosure at the zoo.
He was doing what tigers do. It's a wild animal.
This worker, who's not a zoo worker, climbs a 4-foot retaining wall, gets in there, and then reaches his hand in the tiger's cage, and then is screaming, get him off me, get him off me, when the tiger does, oh yeah, what tigers do, bites his arm. And then the cop, the sheriff's, in the sheriff's defense, he did ask if there was a tranquilizer that could be gotten to quick enough. But, you know, when the guy's got his arm bitten, you don't know if the artery's gotten there or whatever. You don't have very long. So the deputy shot him. And the zoo, by the way, backs up the deputy, says, you know, in that situation, the deputy absolutely did the right thing. And I'm thinking, did he? Don't sometimes you got to let a dumbass be a dumbass?
Well, but I agree with you. There should be some sort of charges.
There should be a lot of charges.
A lot of charges. There should, against the person doing that. I mean, you clearly are in viation
of something,
of safety protocols, staying away.
And you don't even work at the zoo. You're just there cleaning the place.
You're supposed to be cleaning the bathroom.
Isn't there a time when if you're just felony stupid, we let you be felony stupid? And here's the other thing he should be charged with. He should be charged with just some sort of aggravation, public aggravation or something, for getting Carol Baskin to get back on Twitter and start talking about tigers again. Just the fact that he woke Carol Baskin up. Matter of fact, I know what you do with him. You tell him, hey, Carol, here's your new husband.
There you go.
We know tigers like his taste. You know what you did to your first husband? Well, here's another one. Tigers need food, too. Allegedly. Her first husband, yeah. And if any of you don't know what I'm talking about and you haven't seen Tiger King, God, you're so much luckier than me. You're so much. Tiger King. And, Tiger King came out at the right time, right at the height of the lockdown of the pandemic. So you had nothing to do. So you run out of things to watch, and somebody goes, seen that Tiger King thing yet? So I literally started watching
That's what happened to you.
I literally started watching. Susan was in the bed. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I go, well, I'll try this Tiger King.
You binged watched the whole
now
thing.
Now it's 9:30 in the morning. I'm watching the last episode. Because I couldn't. It was like a train wreck. You couldn't take your eyes off of it. It was like watching the first 5 years of the auditions of American Idol back to back to back to back. Because remember, we watched American Idol not because we really wanted to see people. Once they got to the singers that could sing, who gave a damn? We watched, for William Hung. We watched for that kind of thing. We watched for the train wrecks. We watched for the people that sang bad and then told Simon Cowell how bad a person he was for telling them they sang bad.
And his reaction.
We watched because people that couldn't hold a tune in a bucket walked in thinking they were the next Whitney Houston. Well, that's the same reason I watched Tiger King. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. First off, here's a man sporting a frosted mullet. Not just a mullet.
A frosted.
He's sporting a frosted mullet. His hair literally looked like under that visor, that fake visor you see that has the wig hair sticking all out of it. That's what Joe Exotic's hair looked like for real. Then he had the two meth head heroin addicts that really weren't gay, but they were being gay with him because he had a lot of money and were buying him drugs. If that's not enough, hello, Carol Baskin.
Here comes his wife.
That's not his wife.
Oh.
It's his direct enemy that's down in Florida running the same kind of cat habitat he's running, but complaining about how they need to close all the cat habitats for hers because she runs it properly. But she's doing the exact same thing he's doing. And she has a husband, a first husband, who helped her bankroll this, that has disappeared off the face of the earth. Nobody knows where he is. Nobody. Tiger with a digestion problem probably knows where he is, but still, allegedly. Gotta say allegedly, she'll sue. She'll sue. And then throw in a guy in Hilton Head, South Carolina, that had made a name for himself by going on Jay Leno's Tonight Show and all like that with cats. And he had 20-year-old, 19-year-old, 18-year-old girls who he would take in as tiger trainers, but really it was just his concubines. How are you not watching that miniseries?
I never saw an episode, not one.
And you're a lot better off than me, because I watched the whole thing and was glad that I'd put it out of my mind. And then this moron reaches into a cat enclosure. The cat bites him, gets shot by a deputy sheriff, and now Carol Baskin's back out in public again. He should be charged just for that.
He should be.
But, I mean, who really is the victim in this situation? The tiger.
The tiger.
Tiger did nothing wrong. Food, set in cage. Start chomping on food. You know, what do you expect the tiger to do? And the deputy sheriff did try to get tranquilizers. I will say the deputy sheriff did ask for tranquilizers first. And that happened right here in Florida. Right here. And the zoo said, hey, and
we're not even to dumb crook news yet.
No, this is just a dumb. He wasn't. They not said he was a crook. They said he was an unfortunate victim of bad decisions. That's how they listed in the newspaper.
Really?
Unfortunate victim of a bad decision.
Really?
No, the unfortunate victim of a bad decision was the tiger.
It was the tiger.
Your bad decision was to go in there and try to pet a 800-pound wild animal.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? When you got arrested, if you said that to your friend, the police officer that arrested you, I'm just a victim of my bad decisions.
No, it was pretty apparent I was a victim of my bad decisions.
Well, I'm just saying.
It was pretty apparent. The fact that he had a knee on my back, a Glock to my head, and saying, don't move, mother, And it was somebody, I go, Todd, it's me. I know who it is. Still, don't move. Yeah. But
Todd, I'm just a victim of my bad decision.
But by the way, Todd Mashburn, to this day, I credit Todd Mashburn with saving my life because I wasn't smart enough to do it. I wasn't smart enough to quit cocaine.
What?
Todd Mashburn's Glock to my head and the electronic doors shut behind me. Well, there's a deterrent.
Well, here's the thing. Like, it's the same thing with this. You could have said that.
Although,
why are they calling this guy misfortunate because of his bad decision?
Although I will tell you this. When they asked me, where'd you get your drugs from? I found them in an Exxon bathroom behind the toilet. What, they were just there? I don't know. I looked back there. There was a bunch of drugs back there. I picked them up. They were so angry I wouldn't tell them where I got my drugs from. So angry. I got them from the bathroom behind the toilet. Here's the true story of that. I got them from the bathroom behind the toilet at Exxon. No, that's where the guy was getting the drugs from. That's where his drop was. I just went and picked them up from where the drop was. I told the truth. I was not lying. For those that don't know, I'm talking about when I was a bad person back in my 20s, when I had my life saved from being a drug addict by a arrest by my best friend, one of my best friends in Bullitt County, Georgia, Statesboro, Georgia. So
You were just a victim
I was
of
a
your
victim of my own bad decisions.
decisions.
Like this guy was. He was a victim of a bad
Like,
decision.
oh my gosh.
Sticking his arm into a tiger enclosure.
cage.
I mean, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk something. We're going to talk about who could end up being the largest retiree, money-wise, ever on the payroll of the federal government as a retiree. Plus, we'll talk about the Powerball and the Mega Millions. They are at astronomical numbers. We'll do that next. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.